In today's video, we're going to explore what are the roots that can hold you together in all the storms of life, and how can this anchor you in the long haul?
We're Clay and Sonia with Heart Life Coaching, and we believe that marriage isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving. Every relationship faces challenges, but with the right tools, you can turn conflict into connection. You can turn your struggles into strengths. And so we want to invite you to join us in discovering how to build a marriage you've always wanted, full of love and trust, and have the tools that you need to make it work.
So think about the couples that you know that have been together over the long haul, that have been there together. They've faced hardships, they've faced financial crisis, they've faced health issues, and times where they didn't see eye to eye on these things and arguments that come up. But through it all, they remained connected because the roots ran deep.
Without strong roots, a relationship can feel really shaky, and small conflicts can turn into really big fights. And over time, you may start to feel disconnected because that's going on over and over again. But when your relationship is anchored in trust and shared memories and mutual respect, you have the foundation that can withstand any storm.
So what are these roots and how do you strengthen them? So the first one is trust and commitment. A lot of times we're in a relationship and we're just like, oh, well, it's not working out, so maybe I'm going to go to another one. I like to say it's the commitment to stay, not just to stay together, but to stay together well, to nurture life and to be strong enough together that we support each other. And it makes life good.
And part of that commitment, too, is committing to do whatever it takes to make it work and to find the tools or to get help or whatever it might be. Things like watching these videos or talking with a coach or whatever you need. Also, to trust. I like to define trust as a willingness to take a risk and make yourself vulnerable to another. Now, that can be a real challenge if those conflicts keep happening over and over again, because after a while, you'll start to not feel safe in the relationship. So it's really important to make sure that you create not only that safe space with each other, but you do whatever it is you're needing to do, being committed to connect with each other. And then that vulnerability can happen.
And about safety, it's important to create safety for yourself and safety for your partner. Are you creating a safe space for your partner to feel like they trust you? I'm making it safe for you. And in that place, I make it safe for myself, which is really a shift from what our world teaches us.
Well, it's the total opposite, really. Also, another one of those roots is communication and understanding with it, too. Do you feel heard? Are you valued in the relationship? We live in a culture where we're busy and we're rewarded for talking, but rarely do we listen. It's got to be both, where one person talks and another person listens, and then you take turns. Have you ever been around somebody when they didn't think they were going to be listened to, and they start talking really fast, and they can do it just as fast as they can, and they talk over the top of you, and they're just not going to stop because they might not get their opinion back in again. What we're talking about is being at ease with each other so that you can connect and communicate, because only then can you listen and understand what it is that you're actually hearing from your partner. And we know from research now that we have a hard time listening anyway. 20% of what we hear, we actually retain. And that's if you're in a good mood.
So feeling heard and valued in your relationship really is so key. And it's not about agreeing. It's also just about listening and allowing you to be you and me to be me. And how do we make that happen? It's like, because oftentimes we see some things completely different. And we have different ideas. And it's like you're in a room and I'm looking out this way and we see different things and we don't know what your partner is seeing unless you talk about it, unless you accept, oh yeah, you're seeing trees. I'm seeing a river. But you have to share that and be open.
So another root is shared history and memories. Meaningful experiences that you share together that have shaped you and bonded you together with it. That can be having kids and grandkids. That can be a special vacation you took, or a special honeymoon you went on, or some other positive life thing, even little things like a picnic or things like that. But it also can be the things that have been tough as well, maybe the loss of a loved one, or some difficulty that you've had to face together. And yet through it all, you bonded together instead of letting it separate you as part of that.
And you can always create new memories. That's the thing. It's like, okay, we don't have enough memories. Let's go and create some. Let's do something different. Let's do something fun. Let's have an adventure that you can that you can do together and you can overcome something.
Yeah. Another one is mutual respect, meaning we embrace each other's differences, that it's okay for her to be her and it's okay for me to be me. In fact, I need her to be the way she is, because when I look at her differences as my allies instead of my enemy, it enhances my life. It helps me make better decisions. It keeps me out of trouble a lot of times as well. That doesn't mean I have to agree with her on everything, but because we are different. But I want to be in a place where I can respect that of her as a human being. And what about appreciation?
So yeah, and appreciation of the person that they are, appreciation of yourself, and speaking those out. Lots of times we're looking for things that are like wrong with your partner, instead of like, okay, what are you doing great? What do I appreciate about you? And those things kind of just will grow and they will become stronger roots. So stronger roots don't happen overnight. It's day by day, conversation by conversation, event by event, that really sinks those roots into the soil, that really creates that groundedness that you love.
I want you to think about something. When was the last time that you either gave an appreciation to your spouse or that you got one from your spouse? For most couples, it's been a long, long time. Doing that is actually what deepens the root. Every one of those appreciations you share, whether it's on a big thing or a small thing, it will actually drive that root deeper and deeper, because you're getting and focusing on what you want in the relationship instead of what you don't want.
Now, it's your turn. Grab your partner, take a few minutes of quiet time together and just share. How do you show your partner that you're fully committed? Sometimes it's just going to work every day. That's like, okay, I am committed. Sometimes it's coming back after an argument and apologizing. Really, really look at that. What would that look like for you? What can your partner do for you that would show you that they're committed? And what can you do to show that you're committed?
And with that commitment, are you committed to do whatever it takes to nurture a relationship and make it be strong and have it improve and make it even richer than it is?
Now, we believe that it's not staying together, but it's staying together well in a thriving relationship, and making sure that you're not just gritting your teeth and miserable, we're going to just stay together whether it kills you or not. But you are really, really committed to making life be all that it can be for both of you.
Yeah. Another one is, what builds trust in your relationship? Sometimes we're human, we all blow it. And when we violate that trust, what do we need to do to reestablish that trust? Very important here is to ask your partner what they need to be able to build trust. If you've had an argument or you've had some kind of conflict with it, is knowing what for them does that instead of what maybe you want instead with it too. For 10 years, I brought Sonia flowers when we'd fight. She didn't want flowers. She wanted me to come and spend quality time with her. That's what her repair need was. But I've spent 10 years going out and buying flowers and doing the exact opposite of probably what she wanted with it. And I could have changed that simply by asking and listening.
Or by me sharing that would have been a very, very helpful thing. So what strengths do you bring to the marriage? What are the strengths that you bring to this relationship? Talk about that. Point out the strengths that your partner brings to the marriage. Rather than look at deficits, look at your strengths and make those stronger.
And how do you stay emotionally connected when and during tough times? A lot of us go to behavior that we did before we were even in the relationship, and that's doing coping mechanisms. We go have a beer, or we go out and eat, or we do something, or we go play golf. We do something to distract ourselves when it's difficult. And okay, every once in a while that's fine, but have you started with connecting with your spouse about how can we support each other, whatever it might be?
So your marriage is only really as strong as its roots. So if you want to dive deeper into strengthening trust, commitment, repair, then stick with us. Hit that like button. We're going to go a little bit further in this. And don't forget, our next video is on the trunk. It's the skills that you need in your relationships and how do you build those skills. We also have a free guide about nurturing relationships. So check out the caption and download that today.
So let's keep the conversation going. Comment below if you have thoughts or questions about what you've heard, and we'll see you on the next